Hi all, welcome to EdusLive learning app. In this session, we will be discussing the previous year board questions and important questions from the second chapter, polynomials. So let's check out the first question. The first question is very simple and this question was asked on 2023 for 1 mark. The question is, the graph of y is equal to p of x is given. Number of zeros of p of x from the graph. So we have to find the number of zeros from the graph. It's very simple. How will you find the number of zeros from the graph? Yes, count how many times the graph touches the x-axis. So in the graph, we see it touches the x-axis at one point. So in order to find the number of zeros from the graph, you just count how many times the graph touches the x-axis. Here the graph is touching the x-axis at one point. So the number of zeros is 1 here. So the correct answer is option B, 1. That is, number of zeros of this graph is 1. Next question, and this was a question from 2023. If alpha, beta are zeros of a polynomial p of x is equal to x square minus 1, then value of alpha plus beta. So it is given in the question, alpha, beta are the zeros and we have to find the value of alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta means that is the sum of the zeros. It is given alpha and beta are the zeros. So alpha plus beta will be the sum of the zeros. And what is the formula to find sum of the zeros? We have discussed already. So you need to by heart these formulas for sum and product of the zeros. This formula is very important. If you study these two formulas, you can answer all the questions from this chapter. So sum of zeros is given by minus b by a, and minus b by a, where b stands for the coefficient of x by a is the coefficient of x square. And product of zeros is given by c by a, where c stands for the constant term and a is the coefficient of x square. And this is for a standard form of quadratic equation given by ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So if this is the standard form of quadratic equation, we can find sum and product of zeros by using this formula. So sum is given by minus b by a and product is given by c by a. Okay. Now coming back to our question, we have to find the value of alpha plus beta, that is sum of zeros, and sum of zeros, the formula is minus b by a, that is, so don't forget to give this negative sign, okay, minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. So this is our equation, p of x is equal to x square minus 1. And what is the standard form of a quadratic polynomial? It is ax square plus bx plus c. This is the standard form of a quadratic polynomial. Okay, we have to compare this standard quadratic polynomial with the given quadratic polynomial and write the values of a, b and c. Okay, what you have to do is compare the standard form of quadratic polynomial with the given polynomial and write the values of a, b and c first. So on comparing, we see a is equal to, nothing is given here, no number is given, so we can take a value as 1 because x square is same as 1x square. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to, is there any x term here? The polynomial is x square minus 1. So you see there is no x term here. So the coefficient of b means the coefficient of x. There is no x term. So b is 0 and c is the constant. And you can see the constant value is minus 1. Okay. So we can write the sum of zeros. It is equal to minus coefficient of x. Coefficient of x means, or you can use this formula, minus b by a. Minus b is 0 and a value is 1. So the answer is 0. So the option D is the right answer. Next question. If alpha beta are zeros of the polynomial x square plus x minus 1. So the given polynomial is x square plus x minus 1. So first we will compare this polynomial with the standard quadratic polynomial and write the values of a, b and c. So anyone? Yeah, please answer. What's the value of a here? A means, what is a? Yes, a is the coefficient of x square, which is 1, and b value is coefficient of x, that is again 1, and c is equal to the constant term, which is negative 1. Okay, and the question is to find the value of 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. Many of you will be scared by saying this question, but this is very simple. You can find the answer in few seconds. You just simplify. This is a fraction. You make the denominator same by cross multiplying. So this is beta plus alpha by alpha beta. You made the denominator same by taking the LCM. So LCM of alpha beta is alpha beta, and then cross multiplying. So alpha plus beta, beta plus alpha is same as alpha plus beta by alpha beta. And what is this alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is the sum of zeros and alpha beta is the product of zeros. Okay, so we will find the sum and product. And what's the formula for sum? Sum is equal to minus b by a. Okay, so we will find the sum here. Sum is equal to product is equal to, sum is equal to minus b by a, which is minus 1 by 1, which is minus 1, and product is equal to c by a, which is minus 1 by 1, again minus 1. So sum by product, which is minus 1 by minus 1, the answer is 1. So the first option. Okay, I will repeat this question. It is very important, and this is a question from 2023. Find the value of 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. This is a fraction. So first you have to simplify the fraction by making its denominator same. So for that you have to take the LCM. So LCM of alpha and beta is alpha beta, and cross multiplication alpha plus beta by alpha beta. Just rearranging. Beta plus alpha is same as alpha plus beta. So alpha plus beta means it is the sum, which is given by minus b by a, minus 1 by 1, which is minus 1, and product is equal to c by a, which is minus 1. So minus 1 by minus 1, the answer is positive 1, and the correct option is the first one, A, 1. Okay. We will do one more question. If alpha beta zeros of the polynomial 4x square minus 3x minus 7, then find the value of 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. Same as the previous question. 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta, we will make the denominator same. So it is equal to alpha plus beta by alpha beta. Okay, so first we will compare this equation with the standard form of a quadratic equation and write the value of a, b and c. Okay, so a is equal to 4. A means the coefficient of x square. The coefficient of x square. Coefficient means the number which comes just before this x square. That is coefficient. So coefficient of x square, which is 4, and b value is the coefficient of x, which is minus 3, and c value is the constant, which is minus 7. So sum, we know the formula. Sum is equal to minus b by a, minus b value is minus 3. So minus b by a. So minus, then we had to write the b value, which is minus 3 by a. Okay, so this part is very important. The sum, we have the formula minus b by a. So minus b value, again we have a negative sign. Okay, so minus of minus, there is 2 negative sign. So minus of minus 3 by 4, which is positive 3 by 4, and product is given by the formula C by A, which is negative 7 by 4. Okay, we will be substituting here. So sum is equal to alpha plus beta means it is the sum of the zeros, which we get the value as 3 by 4 divided by product is minus 7 by 4. Okay, so 3 by 4 divided by minus 7 by 4, which is 3 by 4 into, flip the second fraction, 4 by minus 7. 4 and 4 will get cancelled, so it is equal to 3 by minus 7, which is same as negative 3 by 7. So negative 3 by 7. The correct option is option D, negative 3 by 7. Okay. Then we will check out the next question, and this is also one of the repeatedly asked question, and this is very important. If one of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial k minus 1 x square plus kx plus 1 is minus 3, then the value of k is. Okay, so listen, this is very important question, and this is one of the repeatedly asked question. Okay, here one of the zero is given and we have to find the value of k. So one of the zero means the value of x. What do you mean by 0? 0 means the value of the alphabet. The alphabet used here is x square. It is not k. 0 means the root of the equation or the solution of the equation which satisfies. So the value of x is given as minus 3. That means in this question one of the zero is given as minus 3. We have to find the value of k. So that means we can write p of x is equal to, let p of x is equal to k minus 1 x square plus kx plus 1, and 0 is given as minus 3. That means x value is minus 3. So we will substitute x as minus 3. Okay, so that is p of minus 3 equal to k minus 1 into minus 3 whole square plus k into minus 3 plus 1, and that is equal to 0. So k minus 1 into, what is minus 3 square? Minus 3 square means it is 9. Minus 3 into minus 3, which is 9, plus k into minus 3 is minus 3k plus 1 is equal to 0. Now expanding the bracket, k minus 1 into 9. K into 9 is 9k, minus 1 into 9 is minus 9, minus 3k plus 1 is equal to 0. Now grouping the like terms, 9k minus 3k, this is 6k, and minus 9 plus 1 is, what is minus 9 plus 1? Anyone? Yeah, it's very simple, it's negative 8 is equal to 0. So 6k is equal to 8, k is equal to 8 by 6, which you can simplify as 4 by 3. And this is the answer. 4 by 3 means option A, the first one. Okay, so I will repeat this. This is very important question. One of the zero of the polynomial is given. So that means x value is given as minus 3. Okay, so we will be substituting that value for x. It is given in the question. One of the zero is minus 3. That means for x you have to substitute minus 3. So in the given polynomial we will be substituting, instead of x we will substitute minus 3. So k minus 1 into x square will become k minus 1 into minus 3 square plus k into minus 3 plus 1, that is equal to 0. Now expanding the brackets and grouping the like terms, we will get the value of k as positive 4 by 3. Okay, I hope it's clear. We'll go to the next question. If the path traced by the car has zeros at minus 1 and 2. So it is given in the question, the zeros are minus 1 and 2. If we know the zeros, we can find the value of the sum and product of the zeros. So, first find the sum. The zeros are minus 1 and 2. So, sum will be minus 1 plus 2, which is 1. And product will be minus 1 into 2, which is minus 2. So, we get the sum and product. So, if we know the sum and product, how will you write a quadratic polynomial? We have a general form of quadratic polynomial if we know the sum and zeros of sum and product of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial, and the formula is x square minus sum of the zeros x plus product of zeros. Okay, this is the general form of a quadratic polynomial if we know the sum and product of zeros. Okay, so x square minus, instead of sum of zeros we will write the sum as 1x plus product of zeros is minus 2. So the answer is x square minus 1x is same as minus x, plus minus means minus 2. Okay, and this is the required quadratic polynomial, x square minus x minus 2, and the option is C. Okay, so I will repeat this question. Here two zeros of the polynomial are given and we have to create the quadratic polynomial. So once zeros are given, we can find the sum and product of the zeros. So what is the use with the sum and product? If you know the sum and zeros, there is a general form of quadratic polynomial. Yeah, it is given by x square minus sum of the zeros x plus product of the zeros. So this is the general form of a quadratic polynomial if you know the sum and zeros. Okay, so first from the given zeros we will find the sum by just adding. So minus 1 plus 2 which is positive 1, and product is minus 1 into 2 which is negative 2, and we will substitute that values in the general form which is x square minus, instead of sum of the zeros we will give positive 1, and for the product we will give negative 2. So it is x square minus 1x is same as x minus 2. Let's check out another example. The quadratic polynomial, the sum of whose zeros is minus 5 and product is 6. This is also similar to the previous question but not exactly same. This is a direct question. Here sum and product is given. So what was the previous question? In the previous question only zeros were given. Sum and product were not given. So that's the difference between these two questions. Okay, here zeros were given and in the next question sum and product are given. If zeros are given, you have to find the sum and product and then substitute in the quadratic equation. Okay. But in the next question, the sum and product are directly given. So if the sum and product are directly given, you can write a quadratic formula which is given by quadratic polynomial which is given by x square minus sum of zeros x plus product of zeros. Okay. So x square minus, instead of sum you can write minus 5 because it is directly given in the question. It is minus 5. Remember there is already a negative sign here. So minus, sum is a negative number. So minus 5. There will be two negative signs here. Okay. So don't forget, usually students make mistake in this part. They just write minus 5. They will forget to give this negative sign. So in the formula there is a negative sign. So we will write that negative sign first, and then the sum value is a negative number which is negative 5 x plus product is 6. Okay. So x square minus of minus is plus 5x plus 6. This is the required quadratic polynomial and the correct answer is the first option, x square plus 5x plus 6. Let's check out another example, and this is a bit a twisty question, but it's very easy. The 0 of a polynomial x square plus px plus q are twice the 0 of the polynomial 4x square minus 5x minus 6, and we have to find the value of p. Okay. So for this we will first find the value of 0 of 4x square minus 5x minus 6. So how will you find the 0 of this polynomial? We can use any method. So I will be using the splitting the middle term method or factorization method. So I am going to split the middle term minus 5 into two numbers. Okay. So such that its sum is minus 5 and product is minus 24. Okay, I am going to split the middle term whose sum is negative 5 and product is negative 24. What are the numbers? Can you guess the number whose sum is minus 5 and product is negative 24? Yes, the numbers are minus 8 and 3. Just add the numbers. What is minus 8 plus 3? It is minus 5, and minus 8 times 3 is minus 24. Okay. So instead of minus 5, I will be writing minus 8x plus 3x, then the last term minus 6. So from the first two terms, let's take 4x common. So inside the bracket it will be x minus 2, and then we have 3 common. Inside the bracket x minus 2. So x minus 2 into 4x plus 3. We have to find the value of zeros here, so I am equating it to 0. So x minus 2 is equal to 0 and 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. X minus 2 is equal to 0 means x is equal to 2. So this is one value for x, and then 4x plus 3 is equal to 0 means 4x is equal to negative 3 and x is equal to negative 3 by 4. So we get the zeros of this polynomial. So zeros of 4x square minus 5x minus 6 are, what are the values? It's 2 and negative 3 by 4. 2 and negative 3 by 4. Now read the question again. The 0 of this polynomial is double the 0 of the second polynomial. So this is the most important part. So we are going to find the zeros of x square plus px plus q. It is given 0 of x square plus px plus q is double the 0 of 4x square minus 5x minus 6. So 2 times 2 is 1 0 and 2 times negative 3 by 4. Because it is given in the question, the 0 of x square plus px plus q is double the 0 of the second polynomial. So first we will find the 0 of x square, 4x square minus 5x minus q. Once we find the 0, we will double it. Why? To get the 0 of this, because it is given in the question, it is twice. So it is 4 and negative 3 by 2. Next, we will be finding the sum of zeros. What is the formula to find sum of zeros? Sum of zeros means minus b by a, which is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x squared, that is minus. What is the coefficient of x here? We are considering this equation, okay, because our question is to get the values of p. Okay, so p is the coefficient of x here. Okay, I will repeat, the question is to get the value of p, and p is the coefficient of x. That's why we are taking the sum of zeros here. Okay, so minus coefficient of x is p by coefficient of x square is 1, that is equal to the sum of zeros. So 4 plus negative 3 by 2. So which is minus P is equal to 8 minus 3 by 2, which is 5 by 2. So minus P is equal to 5 by 2 means P value will be negative 5 by 2. And the correct option is option A, negative 5 by 2. This question is very important. Sometimes the question will be to get the values of P and Q. In this question, only P value is asked. Sometimes it will be asked to find the Q also. And to get the value of Q, we have to take the product of zeros. I will explain that also. So that is also very important. To get the value of Q, we will find the product of zeros. Product of zeros, which is given by constant term divided by constant term divided by coefficient of x square. What is the constant term here? It is Q by coefficient of x square is 1. That is equal to product of zeros. The zeros are 4 and negative 3 by 2. So 4 into negative 3 by 2. So Q value will be minus 6. Okay. So actually this is not asked in the question, only P value is asked. Okay. So I will repeat. It is given the zeros of x square plus Px plus Q is twice the zero of 4x square plus minus 5x minus 6. So first you have to find the zero of 4x square minus 5x minus 6. Once you find the zero, we can find the zero of this term because it is double. So we multiplied with 2 to get the zero of x square plus Px plus Q. Then to get the value of P, we are finding the sum of zeros. Because sum of zeros is given by minus coefficient of x by x square. Coefficient, here the P means it is the coefficient of x. That's why we are taking the formula for sum of zeros. Is it clear? Yes. Why we are taking this? Many of you will be having now, how will you know that we have to take the sum of zeros? Because P is the coefficient of x. Is there any formula relating to coefficient of x? Yes, it is the sum of zero. So we took that formula. Sum of zeros is equal to coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. So minus coefficient of x is P by 1 is equal to sum. Sum is 4 plus minus 3 by 2. Don't get confused here. We have to take the zeros value as this. Don't take this because your question is to get the value of P. So we have to consider this. This one 0. This one 0 is twice. So we have to take these 0 values. Okay, so once you get the P value, you can find Q also by taking the product of zeros. So here Q is the constant term. Is there any formula connecting constant term? Yes, it's obvious. It's the product of zeros, which is constant term by coefficient of x square. So it is Q is equal to 4 into minus 3 by 2. So that is equal to minus 6. I hope it's clear. Let's check out few more examples. Then this is also very important and one of the repeatedly asked question. What should be added from the polynomial x square minus 5x plus 4 so that 3 is the 0 of the resulting polynomial? Okay, this is the most important part. 3 is the 0 of the resulting polynomial. 3 is the 0 means the x value is 3. So first we are substituting. We know it is given in the question, let P of x is equal to x square minus 5x plus 4. And given 3 is the 0 of the polynomial. So P of 3, we are substituting x value as 3. Okay, so it would be 3 square minus 5 into 3 plus 4. 3 square is 9, 5 into 3 is 15 plus 4. 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 minus 15, which is negative 2. So when we find P of 3, we get negative 2. So we have to find a number that should be added to this number. Okay, number that should be added to this number. So in this case, we get negative 2. We have to take the opposite sign of that number. Opposite of negative 2, opposite sign of negative 2 is positive 2. So positive 2 should be added to this. So number which should be added to this polynomial is positive 2. So first it is given 3 is the 0. As it is given 3 is the 0, I find P of 3. So we get P of 3 as negative 2. So if you get an answer negative 2, you take the opposite sign of that answer. Opposite sign of negative 2 will be positive 2. So positive 2 is the number that should be added. Okay, positive 2 is the number. So we can check whether this answer is right or not. So in this options are only 2. There is only one option given, positive 2, there is no negative 2, so you may not be confused. Sometimes you may directly write the answer as negative 2, but it is wrong. Once you get the P of 3 as negative 2, you take the opposite sign of that number. Opposite of negative 2 is positive 2. Okay. Now we will check whether it is correct or not. Okay. So we can substitute. P of 3 is equal to 3 square minus 5 into 3 plus 4 plus 2. 9 minus 15 plus 6. What is 9 plus 6? It is 15 minus 15. We get 0. Yeah, so P of 3 is 0. Okay, so the correct answer is positive 2. Don't take it as negative 2. Okay, so I will repeat this. We have to find the polynomial that should be added to, we have to find the number that should be added to this polynomial. And it is given 3 is the 0. If 3 is the 0, we can first substitute the x value as 3. When we substitute x value as 3, we get P of 3 is equal to negative 2. To take the opposite sign of that number is positive 2. So 2 is the correct answer. This is a method to check whether your answer is right or not. So just I am writing to the given polynomial, I added positive 2 and substituting x value as 3, we get 0. Yeah, P of 3 is equal to 0 means 3 is the 0 of the given polynomial when we add 2. Okay. So let's check out one more example, and this is very important, and this is a question from the previous year 2024. Find the 0 of the quadratic polynomial x square minus 15 and verify the relation between zeros and coefficient of the polynomial. So we have did so many questions of these type from our textbook. Okay, and this is very important question. So the polynomial is P of x is equal to x square minus 15. So first find the 0. So to find the 0, x square minus 15, I am equating it to 0. So minus 5 when going to the other side, it becomes positive, minus 15 going to the other side becomes positive 15. So x is equal to plus root 15 or minus root 15. So this is the answer for the first part. The zeros of the given quadratic polynomial is plus root 15 and minus root 15. So then you have to verify the relation between zeros and the coefficient of the polynomial. Now comparing it with the standard form of a quadratic equation. What is the standard form of a quadratic polynomial? It is ax square plus bx plus c. On comparing, you get a value as 1. There is no x term here. B is the coefficient of x. There is no x term. So what will be the value of b? Anyone? Yes. As there is no coefficient of x, there is no x term, there is no coefficient of x also. That is b value is 0 and c value will be negative 15. Okay, it is negative 15. Don't take it as positive 15. It is negative 15. Okay. Now we can find the sum. Sum is given by minus b by a, and minus b by a is equal to minus 0 by 1, which is 0. And we have to verify with the sum of the zeros what we get here. Root 15 plus minus root 15. Again it is 0. It's verified. Now we have to verify the product. Product is given by the formula c by a, which is minus 15 by 1, that is minus 15. Okay. Now we will verify with the product of zeros what we get here. So zeros are root 15 and minus root 15. We will find the product of that. Root 15 into minus root 15. What is root 15 into root 15? Root 15 into root 15 is 15. What is root 2 into root 2? It is 2. What is root 3 into root 3? It is 3. Similarly, root 15 into root 15 is 15. But the one is positive, another one negative. For multiplication, the answer will be negative. So it is minus 15. Okay. Minus 15, we get the sum 0, 0. So it is verified. And this question is also very important. Okay. I hope all the questions are clear. Thank you.